solve these two equations as you see here. They're quadratic equations, but they're not in standard form. And in order to solve them, you have to make sure that they're in standard form. When they're in standard form, it simply means that they're equal to zero. So, and of course, equal to zero, the zero is going to be on the right hand side. So where that's in these two systems, that's not the case. We're going to make sure that they're both equal to zero. So what we're going to do, we're going to write back the x squared, write back equal to zero, and we're going to cross this 8x from right to left. Present is positive. And when you cross it from right to left over the equal sign, it becomes a negative 8x. From there, what you're going to do, you're going to factorize the left hand side because now it's in standard form. So we're going to see what is the highest common factor for the two terms. The highest common factor for the two terms would be x. And whenever you factorize it, you always insert brackets. Right now, you should remember that. We're going to have x times what gives us x squared. That's x because x times x is x squared. Minus x times what gives us 8x. Or gives us x times what gives us 8x. Yes, sorry. Or negative 8x. That's going to be negative 8 because x times negative 8 is negative 8x. From there now, I call this the separator. For the separator, we're going to write over two equations that we would have gotten. So we're going to have that x is equal to 0 and x minus 8 is equal to 0. From there now, this one is set. We know what's the first value of x. We gotta go and find what's the second value of x. So we're gonna transpose this 8 here. So if we transpose this 8 here, we're gonna have that x is equal to 8. So for the first system, x is equal to 0, x is equal to 8, and that one is finished. Let's go on to the next one now. This should be, my bad, this should be y. Okay, that's y. This is not in standard form, so we got to set up in standard form. So we're going to write back our y squared. We're going to put back our 0. And we're going to transpose these two guys, or these two terms that are on the right hand side. So we transpose negative 7y from right to left, it becomes positive 7y. And we transpose negative 10 from right to left, it becomes positive 10. From there, we're going to use the grouping approach. Use the pair parentheses and find out the question of which you're fully aware of. Two numbers when you multiply them, you get 10. And when you add them, you get 7. And those two numbers are what? Those two numbers are 5 and 7. 5 plus 7, right? 5y plus 2y. And from there, we're going to fill in our parentheses. We're going to have y is y plus 5 times y plus 2 is the expansion. From there, I'm going to put my separator again. At this line here, I call the separator. And we're going to have our first equation as what? Y plus 5 equal to 0. And y plus 2 equal to 0. Now we're going to make our y as a subject on both sides. So we transpose this plus 5 from left to right, it becomes a negative 5. If we transpose this 2 from left to right, it becomes a negative 2. So, for this system here, it has been written in standard form. Then we determine the two numbers that we're going to be working with. And our solution is y is equal to negative 5 and y is equal to negative 2. This is basically how you factorize systems of this sort that is not in standard form. You have to first of all write them in standard form, meaning that they must be equal to 0, as in this case here, as in this case here. Thank you very much for watching this video. God bless you and see you in the next video.